Hey folks, it's Matt at Giraffe Audio, and today I'm going to take a look at the new editor for the Moog Sub 37. I've got it loaded into Logic, as you can see. So let's take a look at the various screens and the various features which you can access a little bit more easily. Even though on the Sub 37 there's a lot of hands-on controls, it does do a lot of stuff. So having the editor here is quite good, because we can get to various bits and pieces which would normally take at least a few button presses. So let's have a look at the first screen I'm on, which is the setup screen. This is where we can basically tell the editor what port to use to communicate with our Sub 37. I've got ours plugged in via USB, so I've chosen, so it'll pop up within the drop downs. Like so, I've got a few more things in there which of course wouldn't work, but yeah, Sub 37. And we can set up like global settings, of course. You can switch the local control on and off, switch the wheels on and off, and also the panel. So in theory you could just completely lock the keyboard. Maybe if you were using it for a stage show or something like that, and you wanted to completely lock out the front panel so nothing can get touched if you're away from the keyboard, so that's quite cool. We've got the LED contrast and brightness, things like that. What else do we have? The MIDI settings, the out filters, program changes, does it send it or receive it, and of course you've got clock options down here for start and stop, follow song pointer, and we've got send clock as well. So that's all quite cool. Let's go to this one up here, which is editor. So of course, whenever we flip through these various screens, apart from the Librarian, this section here, the actual panel, which would be on your Sub 37, that always stays the same. And of course you can access it just by clicking and dragging. So there's me changing the filter. I'll play a little bit of music so you can hear what's going on there. I've just got a bit of a drum beat made with battery 4, and I've got a little sequence of putting playing back from the Sub 37. So let's just move a few controls around, and I'll show you how it works. So there we go, that's our cut off. Works just like if we're moving the front panel controls. So really just how you'd expect a plug into a VST or AAX or audio unit, whatever plugin you use in your DAW, depending on what DAW you use. Just going to stop the music for a moment. Okay, so we're on the editor screen down below at the moment. We've got stuff like about the ARP sequencer and kind of the gate length, the mod amount. We've got the LFO, and we can take the keyboard tracking for that, where it's mapped to, LFO 2, same kind of stuff. The wheels, what bend amount we can go up to, and there we go, we can go up to 24 semitones, so 2 octaves, and again bending down, same thing. There we go. We can even tell the pitch bend which oscillator to pitch bend, either none of them, or oscillator 1 or oscillator 2, or as it's ticked at the moment, both of them, which is quite cool. Okay, we've got the keyboard and where about on the octave range we are. We've got transposing as well, so we can transpose up and down. Depending on what key we're pressing, we can transpose up by a certain amount or transpose down by a certain amount. Personally myself, I can't really think of a particularly great reason to use that, but I'm sure it's useful to someone. And also the note priority, so at the moment the note priority is the last note, or we can switch it to low or high. Preset volume as well, so how loud the presets are. Then we've got access again to the envelopes. We've got them up here, but we've also got them down here as well, with a few more options. Gate source, we can choose both external or notes, and we can also choose the syncing rate, which is quite cool. Both of these are independent, so we've got our filter one and our amp one, of course, and we can also change our attack curves, which is quite nice. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so now we're on the sequencer page. This is where we can access all the various functions of the sequencer. As you can see, we can change the amount of steps, pitch 1, pitch 2 for each oscillator if we're using it in duophonic mode. We've got velocity, we've got modulation, we've got rest and tie, and we've got skip and ratchet. One of the most interesting features for me is the fact that you can access all the modulation stuff really simply. So again, I've got something going on in the background. I've just changed the note, so it's just a chord held down. So let's just hear that. Try that again. And so there we go. Chord held down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch on the sequencer, and I'm going to go to the modulation stuff. So I can tell the modulation sequence what to affect. So I'm going to go to sequence, and as you can see, we've got a whole list of stuff. We've got filter, resonance, drive, slope, EG amount, keyboard amount, loads of stuff. No filter cutoff up here, weirdly. It's all the way down here. No idea why, but there we go. So select that there, and I'm going to tell it the amount of mod to do it by, so 100%, and I'm just going to use the sequencer now just for modulation. I'm not going to use it to trigger notes. So choose mod only. So let's have 8 steps, so move up the steps like so, and then I'm just going to put some random amounts in so we can hear what's going on. Like so, and yep, looks good to me. So if I hit play on sequencer and then switch on the sequencer here, so there we go. So I can make patterns and stuff just moving around. In this instance, I'm moving the cutoff around. And I can interact with that as well. I mean, this feature is really cool. You cannot do this on the actual piece of hardware itself, but it's a little bit buried. So I really like having this kind of very clear approach to it. Again, I can move the steps down. I can move them up. Let's go up to 16. And I could just change the destination as well. I could put it on the resonance. See what else we could change it to. You can switch the sub on nice feature it's got is the randomizer as well. There's some weird stuff going on there. Okay, so that's the sequencer page. Let's move on a little bit. We've had a look at setup before, so we'll have a look at the mapping. Mapping is just a really simple way that you can map various CC numbers to whatever you want them to control. So we've got a few reserved ones here which we can't use, of course, but then we've got some which we can remap any way we see please. So if you want to add extra controls to the front panel, you could use an external controller with knobs or faders and map them to those to the various functions you don't automatically get on the panel. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the mapping page. Pretty self-explanatory, I'd say. You can also do your CV mapping there as well, and you know, map stuff to various controls. So if I wanted to use the external pitch map for CV, and instead I wanted it to actually be controlling, for instance, the filter drive, it's as simple as a couple of mouse clicks, which is quite nice. And we can just restore the defaults, all default. Yep, there we go, and we're back to normal. So if you get a bit of a mess, no worries, a bit like the panic button, you just hit restore to defaults and you're back to your defaults. Okay, so the final screen is we have the Librarian, which it does exactly what it says on the tin really. It's a load of presets. So you've got a load of the factory presets which you can scroll through and try out. I don't know, let's have a look at some stuff. Let's go for here. We've got some new presets, synth heads. And of course you've got your user patches as well, so you can save loads. So you can just keep all your patches on computer, so you've got a backup. You can also save a lot more than what you could do on the actual unit itself, which is quite nice. We can import banks, we can export banks, a new folder, so we can kind of let's do a new folder. Let's call it base 70s, let's say, and that'll make us a new folder within our user, and then we can put stuff in there, so we can kind of really curate our own presets. I'm going to just delete that, and yep, that's fine, and we're back to normal. Of course you can view stuff by various category, that's in the preset name stuff, but we can also do that within our library, and we can search for stuff as well. Good. Yep, so there's bass. Let's have a look. What else we got? Strings. Not a lot of strings. Lead, maybe. There we go. So we can find stuff really quickly, which is really nice. And we can send and get stuff from the actual Sub 37 itself. So that's pretty. Excuse me. That's pretty much it. We can capture from the hardware. We can do a random preset, which again is always fun. There we go. We got some wind. Try that again. I have found that the random presets do tend to be fairly random, which I suppose is a good thing. Also, we've got our initialized preset, so which is I've got to say with the Sub 37, I've got to say with the Sub 37, it's probably my favourite way to use the unit is actually just start from scratch every time. Reason being is that the synth itself is just such a joy to use. Why start with presets, which is great. Yeah, so there we go. That's the new Sub 37 editor. If you like the video, please like and subscribe, and if you need more information, please do comment down below in the comments. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. And yes, I do pronounce it Moog. I refuse to pronounce it Moog.